This is a follow-up video from our Windows 10 bloatware removal script. This is the new script that will help you with removing all the bloatware that Microsoft loads by default on Windows 11. This script is open source and still not compiled. I'm going to go over how to load this script and quickly review what it removes and how to modify the script if you want to customize it for your use. I'm going to also go over a few bloatware items that can't be removed via the script and that you are installed. Just shortcuts to remove. They are not really actually installed in your system, but they cannot be removed through the script. The script and directions are linked below in the description. You can download the file from our website. The first step is to be sure your OS is updated with the newest version of Windows 11 and all patches are complete before running the script. This will ensure that you get all of the removal of all the items that are automatically installed with Microsoft. Little side note, whenever you create a new user, you might have to run the bloatware removal tool to remove the pre-installed programs that reinstall when creating a new user. This is default by Microsoft. We are looking into trying to find out if there's a way to do this through the registry to get rid of that from happening every time, but at the current time, that's how the script runs. We have a fresh test system here that has Windows 11 with a fresh load of Windows 11 loaded on it with all the updates and all patches, and we're going to transfer the script over to it and we will run it and show you the difference between the two. So let me just show you, we just have a system here set up for default. It's just basically loaded up with Windows 11. It's a mini forms system. We just have it connected to keyboard and mouse, and we have the output being saved to our monitor here, which will be on our recording. So I'm gonna switch over to there. First step, log in. All right, I just did any password. I'm gonna make this a little bigger for me. There we go. All right, so to start with, you gotta download the script. The script will be in the description below. If you haven't downloaded it already, you may want to pause the video and just download that. Okay, so once you have the files downloaded, you'll have a zip file. It'll be labeled Windows 11 remove bloatware. That's the name of the file. You're going to take this and you're going to copy it to your hard drive. So I'm just going to go down to the C drive here. I'm going to just make a temporary folder. Put this on anywhere on the machine. You can put this on your desktop. You could put this, I'm putting in the main path of the C drive, but you can do anything you want. You can label it any which way you want. I'm just going to label it B1 for boot once. And we're going to paste this, paste it in there. There we go. And we're going to extract those files. So we're going to hit extract all, and we're going to just extract to that same folder is fine. And it may create another folder, a folder within a folder. It's kind of an inception here. I'm going to cut this and just bring it back out to here. We'll fix that zip file so it's not so crazy. There we go. You can get rid of the zip file when you're done with it if you want, or you can keep it for your own use. Now, I'm going to show you what Microsoft installs. They install all this garbage, which these aren't actually installed. These are kind of just removable icons. But if you go to installed apps, you'll actually see a lot longer list of all this junk, like Clipchamp. That's not really needed. Feedback Hub, Get Help, Mail and Calendar, a lot of these programs you probably don't need. Microsoft Office 365, which is just, I think, a preview about the program. They have Teams installed, a lot of stuff that's installed here. Xbox stuff, if you're a business user, you're not gonna want any of this, or your phone. So let's close this and let me just show you how to run the script. I'm gonna open up the script. We're gonna do Windows PowerShell. We're gonna run as administrator. Once that is running, you're going to type in CD, you're going to change to that folder. So you're going to go to CD /, you go back to the main path, and then you're going to go to CDB1. That's just command directory, that's what that stands for. Long story short, you're switching to another folder. It's like double clicking a folder. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to change to the Windows 11 remove bloatware. By the way, I just pushed tab on the keyboard to auto fill in what, I started typing some of what I'm looking for, and I push tab and it auto fills to whatever the folder name is or file name is on that specific path. So we're going to hit enter and obviously change to B1 Windows 11 remove bloatware. At this point, you can type dir to see what's there. You'll see there's only one text file and a PS1 file. So we want to type out this command, so you just type out how to remove. This is just going to display what your actual directions are for this. In this case, we have to run a command here that will allow us to execute higher privileges on the system. So we're gonna have to do that. So we're just gonna copy that, paste it, run it. It's gonna ask you a dumb question, just hit A for all. It'll allow you to run it. And now what you wanna do is now run that actual bloatware script. So you're gonna put ampersand, remove bloatware, and you just hit enter. Now, this system is very slow, so this may take a few minutes. So we'll let that go. You'll notice a bunch of blue stuff going on up here. That is normal. It's going to initialize a remove tool. In other words, it's gonna say deployment, but it's not really deploying it, it's removing it. So it uses the same words as if you were going to be installing it, except you're uninstalling it. If you notice, it's uninstalling things like Xbox, Bing Weather, Bing News, Microsoft Solitaire Collection. This is going to basically bring you down to pretty much a default version of Windows with nothing installed. This is not going to remove the Windows Store. We did have it removing, like turning off the Windows Store at some point, but we decided to kind of go against that because of the fact that the Windows Store is still necessary for certain things. So we also remove a little bit of a telemetry files, and we reset how File Explorer works. So File Explorer by default usually opens up to your recent files. This program will redo it so that when you open up File Explorer, it will automatically go to this PC, which is a little bit more common sense for most people, especially if you're in a business. You'll want to go to like maybe a map drive or something like that. You may not want to see all your recent files. You can, by the way, change all of this. You could still go back and change anything that you don't want. You can always go back and reset the options. It doesn't permanently set anything. It just sets them via our defaults. So, and you can set this back to home if you want that. And that would bring it back to just the regular recent file paths, which we don't really have any here because it's a brand new machine. But you can set those changes anywhere you want. So let me show you what it actually removed. What you're going to do is go back into installed apps, and if you start to scroll down, you'll notice there are a lot less things installed at this point. OneDrive never seems to uninstall. Even if we tell it to uninstall, it kind of comes back. Power Automate is another one that probably shouldn't be in here, but you can actually uninstall that temporarily if you want to. Actually, I don't think we removed it for a reason, but if you noticed, all the Xbox stuff is gone, all the Git help, you know, all the other junk that basically they load that you may not need at any point in time is now removed. Only the basic installation of the operating system, which is like your calculator, your camera, like basic functions. Everything else has been removed, including weather, all of the note-taking devices, etc., that are basically really annoying, that don't work right. Everything's been taken out in that aspect. So you're now to a nice, clean operating system. And what I want to also show is how this script is made and what it looks like on the underneath. I'm going to load Notepad++ on here so that we can basically take a look at the script in a little better format. So I'm just going to download Notepad++ and install that really fast. Probably going to skip this on the video. Why is this acting? There we go. Install. Okay. When you have Notepad++ open, you can actually just take the file that we have here, which I transferred into this folder, and take that PS1 file, drag it onto Notepad++, and it'll format it nicely for you so you can see what it's all about. It'll explain what we're removing, to-dos, people, sticky notes, all the junk that basically nobody really wants. Spotify Music, Xbox, OneNote, Skype apps, Zoom Music, which, no, that's like really old. Zoom Video, GitHub, you know. Now, if we scroll all the way to the bottom here, we're also removing some things like McAfee Security Suite. We're also checking the Wi-Fi, making sure that Wi-Fi hotspot sharing is disabled. Wi-Fi Sense shared hotspot auto connect is disabled. Start menu is also Bing search results has been changed. We're also disabling telemetry. Again, all of these options you can either comment out by just putting a little pound sign in front of it. Like if you do that, that will comment this if statement out. Be sure to comment the whole thing out if you don't want to do that. You know, if it's a full statement, if it's just one line, then just comment out one line. But it is broken down into groups here with little notes. So whenever you want to, let's say you want to turn off this whole Wi-Fi sense thing, you can just put a pound sign in front of all of these lines, and that will basically skip past that. Or you could just delete it from the script if you don't want it at all. But if you want to re-enable it, you could just delete the little pound sign in front of it. Pound just means that it's like a comment, so that it'll comment out that line specifically. You could do this before you run the script. I recommend that you do go through the entire list before you run the script so that you can make sure that you have what you want specifically to be removed. Everything is nicely labeled in here, so you should be able to figure out what you are actually commenting out, what you are keeping and what you're not keeping. Now, the script doesn't remove everything. So let me go close this. Let me save my file, which probably shouldn't do anyway. Close this. Close that. Okay. So if you go click on start, you'll still see like Prime Video is still here, but it's actually been removed from the install programs. The problem is that Microsoft keeps this little like bootloader in here that basically will load up its version of that program if you click it to install it. So these aren't really actually installed, but if you right click it, it says uninstall. They're not actually installed. If you open it, it'll start installing. So you want to hit uninstall, but it'll just remove the icon. That's the reason why it's so quick. And you can just get rid of the ones you don't want. In this case, I really don't want any of this. So you just right click it, uninstall it. You can't do this through PowerShell as I know of right now. I'm going to try to find something that might be able to do this more automatically. But right now we just kind of manually remove those and get rid of them. At this point, it's all taken care of. It's removed. I don't like Edge either, so I'm just going to unpin this. Can't really take out Edge. So we're just going to unpin from start also. And, you know, you set your default browser and whatever else you would like to do. You know, that's up to you on your decision on what you want to do. But you can set it to any browser you feel like. A few other little changes that we actually do on most systems is we also change out the icons at the bottom. We'll unpin things like the Windows Store. Most people don't use it unless you have a specific need for it. And if you do, you could still get it through the Start menu, by the way. You could still find it in all apps. You know, it is in here. So if you need it, you can still grab it. Also take out the little chat feature and also take out the search. So you can right click, hit taskbar settings, and you can switch this out. Take out the widgets, the chat, and you can hide the search. And if you want it to be more like Windows 10, you can also go down to taskbar behaviors and switch to the left side. That'll allow you to go back to kind of like how Windows 10 looks. And you can also still automatically hide the taskbar or show badges. You can do a lot of things here. Change it the way you want it, and I would go through there and make sure that those settings are correct for you. Other system tray icons, if you want specific icons to show up in the bottom right, that's where you would go, and you can select the icons you would prefer to show up in that corner. I'm not going to make any changes to this because I'm not installing a lot of programs, but if you have things over there that you don't want to be visible, or if you want to see other things be visible, you can click on those and change them. Another annoying thing that I really don't like about Windows 11 is this recommended area. So I usually right click and hit Start Settings, and I change this to More Pins so that it just kind of puts that down there and out of the way. You could also turn off the recommended if you want. You know, I don't have to show my recently added apps. I don't like any of this stuff on. This is a personal change. We don't usually change those on the customer side. We'll just change it to more pins just to allow more actual pinning of specific apps that you want. Especially since all apps is now up here, makes it a little harder to find. So it's a little bit more trickier that way. But you know, with Windows 11, you can also create more icons on the desktop, or you can create more icons in the Start menu if you want. That's about it for right now. You can basically check out the script itself. You can download it from our website. The link will be down in the description. And If you have any comments or if you have any other items that you'd like us to add to the script, please let us know in the comments below. We will try our best to try to update it over time. And we probably won't make another video about it, but we'll probably just update it on the site and put the proper comments in the actual script file itself. So that's it for Windows 11 bloatware. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.